Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bhakti podcast series with another topic powered by Prep Insta, brought to you by Devistrons and Learn with Community. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you all are doing well. For those who are joining me first time, I am Aditya Sau, one of the organizer of Bhakti 2.0 and founder and community lead at Learn with Community. We know we are back again. Another topic that is the NFT. This is the you might heard about the very much about NFT. What is NFT? Before going to this topic, I wanna just want your seek your attention on this topic. What is actually the Buckthon? So let me give you the brief about what is actually Buckthon. Buckthons as an initiative that is taken by the Devistrons and LWC begin with a mindset of encouraging community folks and make them aware of the edtech industries by putting emphasis on problem solving, code efficiency, code optimization, and logic based programming. We empower coders to get influence by developing softwares, enhancing skills, solving bugs, and producing numerous opportunity via it. So if you haven't registered for the Buckthons contest, link in a Buckthons discussion channel. So just land on that link and register for yourself for this event. So come to the today's podcast topic. So on a day second of Buckthorn's podcast, today we have Aditya with us. So Aditya is the co-founder of the joint NFT.com and he has a 2 years of experience in Web3 and NFT, more than 2 years. I'm just putting this thing and he has he has a great experience with the Aditya. So hi Aditya.
Hey, Aditya, great to be here.
Thank you for joining us today. We are very interesting to hear you. So before going to on the topic, what is the NFT? I want to just our audience wants to just can you just give the small introduction about you and what you are doing and all.
Sure, I would love to. First of all, thank
Yeah.
you for hosting me. And I know there was some confusion between the team, but I hope it's all sorted.
Yeah. Surely,
And
surely.
I did computer science, and then I joined an ex-direct I company as a data engineer called Endurance
Hmm.
International. I led the big data team for the Asia Pacific region for 1.5 years, and then I moved on to join Zeta, where I built close to four of their data platform as service products. So these are all big data products which I do end-to-end designing from. Then come
Okay.
last year, I decided that I want to try starting my own company. I had quit my job, and
Hmm.
this accelerator called Join EF or Entrepreneurs First had sort of
Hmm.
invited me to be part of their cohort,
Hmm.
the sixth cohort in Bangalore. It's a
Hmm.
fantastic program. It allows you to find co-founders and then like work on a venture and then pitch to a venture capital panel. And if they like it, then they give you a pre-seed money to get things started. So that's
Hmm.
where the jointnft.com, which I'm working on right now, was actually created.
Hmm.
And yeah, since then I've
Cool.
been working on this.
So, where before going to the main topic, I wanna just ask you, ki, how did you started your journey in this Web3 world, and how did you just get this idea? Ki, I want to just go in this Web3, and I want to take a step in this a new internet world that is the Web3. So, what's your plan on that?
Um, so I actually started trading crypto long back. I think it was like a decade
Oh,
ago when I started trading crypto. But I didn't go into the other aspects of it, the smart contract or the
okay.
NFT part or developing part, till like a couple
Hmm.
of years ago. And that happened when I started noticing a lot of other people talking about the concepts. And I think
Hmm.
I'm a firm believer that whenever you see someone talking about a concept which you don't understand clearly, first you should do is try to
Hmm.
understand why they're talking about it, what is behind it. And
Hmm.
I know a lot of people say it's hype, it is this,
Hype.
and it's
Hmm.
FOMO, but it's always better to clarify yourself because you should not be missing an early trend in case there is one. If not, well, good enough. You now know for sure that it's hype. But if not, then
Okay.
do that due diligence. And that's how I started. So initially, one friend of mine had come and told me what NFTs are, and I
Hmm.
was like, no, man, this makes absolutely no sense. I will never pay anything for an image, and I don't know what's
Hmm.
driving people batshit crazy. And then, but then he was consistent. Then I came back and asked some questions. I started diving deeper. I think it took me a week to actually go through resources and understand what the concept of NFTs are. Because at that time, most there were like hardly any good resources out there, and the friend I was also talking to was, I think, very good techie, but he was not that good at conveying his thoughts at that stage. But overall, I spent
Okay.
that time. Then I understood what NFTs are, and after that, I think that concept hit me. It made a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of power
Hmm.
behind its possible use cases, and hoping those get explored too after this call.
Oh. So you are currently like focusing on this NFT in this case. So you are not basically you are also have an idea about the other thing, but this the NFT is the main reason that pushed you to just explore this world.
No, so there are multiple ideas. We
Hmm.
started with the NFT one because I think last year there was a lot of attraction which this space gathered from people,
Hmm.
and suddenly there were a lot of use cases which people wanted but were not happening. So it's more about problems will always exist, but are you there at the right time, right? You can build something which is needed 10 years later, but then no one will want it today and you will not make progress. And now you know something people will want in the next 1 year, so it always makes sense to make that. So
Hmm.
it helps to be just a little bit ahead of the curve, not too ahead or behind. Right? So
Okay,
that's how NFT
cool.
started because what we were trying to build is give liquidity or easier access for people into NFTs and not allowing people to mint. That's not what we are doing. There are enough platforms out there.
Hmm.
But this is something no one was doing. We're like the third player in this space in the whole
Good. Yeah.
blockchain ecosystem.
Cool. Got it. Oh, so why did you started this giant NFT or what's your like vision to started this company?
I'll tell you how we started. We met
Hmm.
this bunch of people, and the use case was that good NFTs are actually a couple of $1,000. I mean, anyone can mint the NFT, but the ones which
Yeah.
are good, which you believe has a value proposition behind it, there's an actual
Hmm.
utility to actually owning it.
Hmm.
They're generally priced a little bit, and not everyone, the retail man, the common man, can't actually afford that. We met some people, and they told us that yes, there is one friend who's actually doing the analysis of NFTs, just like how people do stock analysis. They're figuring out the team, the project, how much they've had. Is the community active? Are the community more bots or more people? What are their background? What is the
Hmm.
team's background, right? And then that one person is going to his friends and saying, "This is the project to get into. Let's pool in the money." Let's pull in the money, and this is the reason to buy it. This is the reason to actually hold on to it, and this is the access you will get from it. So,
Hmm.
so we saw actual unorganized behavior where friends were doing it with the trusted person, and lot many
Hmm.
people were not doing it because they didn't have a way to trust someone. So we started
Hmm.
talking more and did market research. Once we got at
Yeah.
that stage is when we realized, okay, this is a need. People are right now wanting it. And this is not an Indian product. This is a global product out there. It's missing completely globally and people want it right now. That's how we went ahead.
Okay. So that's your focus basically. Ki, analysis is a very important thing in the NFT terms. You are using the analyze. You are using the analyzing right for NFTs.
Correct. Every
So
NFT needs to have a value. It's not just the art.
value. Correct, correct, correct. So, like, can you just explain our viewers ki, what in very simple term ki, what is Web3 and then how this Web3 concept is come and then what is the significance of this NFT in this Web3 world? Why does the NFT is exist or what is the significance?
Sure. So I think people here have already done a blockchain course, is what you have told me. So I will keep the Web3 part brief.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, Web 1 is when the initial internet came out when people were just putting blogs. Right?
Hmm.
It was static sites or static HTML put into a server, and web browsers can just read it and display it.
Hmm.
That was
Hmm.
Web 1. Web 2 was the era when the way to give information back to the server or communicate
Hmm.
back came on. That's when Facebook, Google, all these started allowing you to send some data back through their servers to any other person, right? Web 3
Hmm.
is the data in Web 2 was always central. There was a server which was controlling this whole thing, and that entity was guiding everything. Then Web 3 has come with this concept that no one actually owns the data, no one actually owns the system. That code is common for any machine, and any machine having enough resources to run it can actually run and host that code and prove that yes, this is actually legit, this is the right data, and this was in
Hmm.
fact sent. Right? So Web 3 is the whole world sending to the whole world. That's how they see Web 3 as. That's when people say
Okay.
Web3, they mean data is stored on blockchain, it's shared
Hmm.
globally. Now, um, this has all the benefits of blockchain, which is that once data is stored, you cannot hide it, you cannot take it away, you cannot steal it. Now you know who
Hmm.
sent the data. There's a lineage behind it, so there's a traceability, right? You
Yeah.
want to know who actually did it. You don't want. So this has the ability to figure out is it authentic or not. Right? That's
Authentic.
the main thing.
Right. And no one can tamper with that data, right?
No one can tamper with
Because
it.
this
That's
is
the computational part which blockchain brings into it. Absolutely.
computational part of it. But means,
So
yeah, yeah, sure, go
the original blockchain had that at least 51% of the people are right, then no no one can tamper with it. You need 51% of the computing power to be trying to tamper the data. Only then there's a possibility of tampering the data. So as long as majority of the chain is still true, you cannot tamper the data.
You cannot tamper the data. And what is the rules of this NFT into this?
Right. So when when blockchain initially started, Bitcoin obviously was the first one. Vitalik
Yeah.
came up with this concept that why just store the data of transaction? Why just store the money transfer? Why can
Hmm.
you not store code itself which says what will be done if this code is executed, and
Hmm.
then make that
Hmm.
code permanent? That's how Ethereum came. That's the whole concept of decentralized application, that you have your some logic stored in blockchain which is defined very well that how it will behave under certain actions, and it's visible to people. It's now publicly owned. So
Okay.
when this started coming up,
Hmm.
people wanted a way to transact information and money. So there came
Hmm.
the concept of tokens. Um, Tokens is just similar to any other cryptocurrency tokens, and uh, the aspect of tokens is one token is same as any other token.
Hmm.
For example, 1 rupee is same as any other rupee. A sheet
Yeah.
of A4 paper is same as any other sheet of A4 paper. For
Hmm.
a person,
Hmm.
value is same. So that's what these tokens represented. It's some fixed value which people are deciding ultimately. Every currency is decided by people. Even the Indian rupees or dollar rupees, it's us deciding it. There is no actual value deciding it.
Yeah. Correct.
Now,
Hmm.
um, this is good for its currency purpose, but then in real life, there are certain items which just exist one of one or one of n. Right? So you
Hmm.
need to represent that unique part, or that is called fungibility. That how replaceable is that item, or how unique is that item, or
Hmm.
uh, is it replaceable or not? That's the main part, right? For example, in our physical world, let's say real estate, we have only one piece of land. We very clearly know this is that land. Or we have that
Hmm.
car
Yeah.
registration number. We know, okay, this registration number belongs to that. So that's very clearly identified. Even for
Hmm.
us, we have our ID cards. We have a PAN card, Aadhaar card, your college ID card, or school ID card, right? So we have something which defines or gives us identity and says this belongs to this
Hmm.
person. Now you
Hmm.
wanted to represent that using blockchain, right? You
Okay.
wanted that some way you're able to track that there is a certificate that this is actually owned by this, or this belongs to this. You wanted to bring that concept of uniqueness on and store it on blockchain, because
Okay.
you thought, okay, blockchain is already very good at managing transactions, it's good at managing
Hmm.
states, it's good at verifying who owns it, whether it's authentic or not. Why
Hmm.
just restrict it to money? Why not bring other aspects which actually need it?
Hmm.
And that's where NFTs, the concept of NFT started. 4 years ago, actually, it didn't come with this vision. It started with a different vision when CryptoKitties actually created the first NFT, the
Yeah.
gaming
Correct.
NFT. But then
Hmm.
people saw the power behind it, that this is the actual concept, that NFT is actually proof of ownership, and the ownership is maintained in code. That code defines what does it get you access to. Now,
Hmm.
because it's stored in code, people can't see it. I and you can't sense it or feel it. Right? We like
Hmm.
to like show ourselves, see it. Like even prizes we see. Even in school, if you win Olympiad, you get gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal, which is just
Hmm.
color coded. It's not actually gold, right? To make you
Hmm.
feel good. Humans relate to it. Just like that, people started adding art to it, because now you can show it, you can see it, you can feel ownership to it, you feel some materialistic possession around it. That's how art started coming attached to it. Then there is
Hmm.
an actual use case which came, that okay, if I can anyways show this is my art and attach to it, then galleries are charging artists 40%, 50%. Why can't I use blockchain? That's where the
Yeah.
whole NFTs as art came up in last 1.5, 2 years. It became very, very massive, right? But
It.
you know,
Hmm.
yeah, tell me. I think you had a question.
No. 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 I'm like hearing you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
so you get what I'm saying, right? So that art became very famous, and then like normal people thought, what is the meaning behind it? I don't relate to it, and people started asking questions like, I can right click save. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like I can just right click and save image and use as YTP, and you can say that the profile picture. But
Correct. So
that will.
that tells me that you didn't understand the concept of NFTs itself, because it's not the image
Hmm.
you're actually trying to buy. It's what does that image get you. So even if you want to come to art, which is not what I'm a firm believer of, I believe
Hmm.
NFTs should have a utility behind it, not the image part of it. That's what I'm trying to promote. But even if it's, let's
Okay.
say we come to art, right? So you can always take a Mona Lisa painting, right? And which
Yeah.
is the example most people will also give you out there, but I think it's just fabulous.
Hmm.
But doesn't give you the right of the painting just hanging in the Louvre Museum. Only one
Hmm.
owner, or only the person who actually owns it belongs to. So showing the digital part is not the ownership. Ownership is what it gets you access to. What it guarantees you that yes, you actually own this. Now, do you value ownership of that or not? It's up to you, right? So
Okay.
if
Hmm.
NFT gives me actual ownership to a piece of land, I probably will value it, right? Like that
Correct.
happened in
Correct.
US recently. If you have been following the news,
Okay, yeah, 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 correct, correct. So you told us ki basically NFT is giving us the proof of ownership, right? And it
that's
is
right.
coming in the 2017 that cryptocurrencies has launched this type of concept, gaming concept, right, in
Correct.
blockchain.
That's
But
right.
it is my question ki how you are saying ki this NFT, because you know ki in the NFT is also coming in the blockchain gaming. So yeah, let's suppose ki how can anyone figure out see this is the right NFT or not? Just suppose I'm just looking out the NFT and I want to just know ki this NFT is valid or not. And let's suppose not the valid, but how can I figure out ki this NFT is right NFT? Right NFT means ki suppose I'm just purchasing and viewing this NFT. So how can I figure out ki okay this NFT will give me some returns and will have the some potential. Like anyone can return make the NFT. You know ki this is the decentralization, there is no any central authority. So I can also make my own NFT, right?
That's right. So
So
let's say now, what? So I'll bring this to fashion, right? So there are street sellers selling you jeans. Then there is Levi's
hmm,
selling you jeans. There's Calvin Klein selling
hmm,
you jeans. There's probably Satyr Paul selling his trousers, right?
correct,
Now
correct.
all of
Hmm,
it is cloth. You can go and today go to a cotton guy and say, "Give me cotton. I'll make my own cloth." It'll have a normal khaki. You can go get it stitched to a tailor, and it'll be perfect trouser. It'll cover your clothes and everything. It'll sound like a normal cloth. Now, certain thing in fashion is about which designer did it, what is the material of cloth, how does it work. So pricing could matter based on various reasons. Either the material is the thing you're paying for, or the comfort you're paying for. Some people will just pay for the designer. That, oh, I believe this designer, I have seen his designs, he's amazing, film stars wear it, right? So there,
hmm,
then that's the fan part. I personally am like, okay, no, this is comfortable for me. This is, not satin or not synthetic material. This is how I will probably choose it. So people have their different styles. Now, ultimately, it's supply and demand. If something
hmm.
has a lot more demand than supply, its price will rise up. If something has a lot less
Okay,
demand than supply, price will go down. It's your
correct,
job to
correct.
figure out what will cause that supply to demand to go up. If it's just hype, demand will go down over time. If there's a core value behind it, that why will people actually want it, then demand will go up, right? Now,
That's also basically based on hype. The hype is going, so your basically NFT and something that's related to that hype is also grow. But after some time, that hype will down, so all things also will down that is related to that hype,
correct,
right?
absolutely.
Hmm.
If hype goes away, the price will go down. So try to go for those NFTs which have a not just hype. They have a long enough use
Hmm.
case. They have a sustainable thing which you get access to, right? So otherwise they're not very
Correct.
costly. Um, for example,
Okay.
there's
Hmm.
I know a fellow company, right? I know a startup which is trying to make. So when a startup can raise loans, right? When you take loans, you
Hmm.
pay back
Hmm.
interest, correct? You take a
Yeah,
loan, you
correct.
pay back interest. We are
Payback
creating
interest.
an NFT where the owner of the NFT gets the interest. If tomorrow
Oh.
I want my money quicker, I don't want
Hmm.
I have given out 10 lakhs, but tomorrow I need it urgently, and I've given it at 7% interest. Some other person is willing to give me 10 lakhs right now and take the 7% interest. I can liquidate.
Hmm.
Now he will get the
Hmm.
interest and the principal. That
Hmm.
NFT has given loan ownership. Now for the period of the loan, I will keep getting my money, and this is how much money is left. So that's how I can value it. That's a real use case of NFT which people are doing right now.
Okay. So, you are saying ki, you are saying basically ki NFT has already discovered, or you can say that a concept has come into the 2017. Am I right?
That's right. The
That
first NFT.
first NFT. But why this NFT is picked up the like hype in this last year, that is the December and November month, and now it's booming ki Mutant App Yacht Club, and there are lots of cyberpunk some NFTs is going on. So is there any reason of the market ki because people are just investing because is there you know ki in NFT I'm like I don't want to discuss, but yeah, but you are not thinking there is some illegal money which is which is trying to putting into this unnecessary hype is making by the users of that particular community. But that's why
Definitely.
the
So
NFT is in hype.
I believe that I definitely think that so there are multiple emotions behind it.
Yeah.
First thing is people say this is the year of bear cycle. Okay, so bear
Okay.
cycle is when you expect the crypto token prices will drop down. So they think,
Hmm.
okay, if my crypto prices are going down, let me put in the crypto assets whose
Hmm.
dollar value remains the same. So that's one reason people move away from tokens and buy non-fungible tokens. That's one thing driving it up. Second thing is a lot of people come into that initial hype, right? It's the FOMO which everyone buys into initially. So
Hmm.
you think, okay, let me mint 100 NFTs. It's easy to mint it out. And initially, it was easy to mint it out. I'll sell 10 of them and use the 10 to buy two at a very inflated price. So the rest will go up. So that pump and dump can happen. That happens in stocks also. That happens in NFTs also. And it's
Hmm.
similar to how it happened in cryptocurrencies, right? Bitcoin came out as a paper in 2008. If you see
Yeah. Correct.
2015 till 17, right? Most
Hmm.
cryptocurrencies which came out were scams, right? 80% of them
Camps.
were
Yeah.
scams. People literally said, okay, this is a scam, and people still went and bought that token. Because
Hmm.
it was the hype. They see a new fad, they want to get into it and not miss it. So at that stage, they don't do value investing and they start blaming the whole ecosystem.
Okay. So people are going blind due to this hype. They are thinking, okay, hype is going on, and let me go with the flow of this hype.
Correct. So there's an
That's the
actual
thing.
report which came out that 90% of the projects which don't have a utility around it are controlled by 2-3% of the people. They are the ones
Oh.
putting all the money in those ones which have no utility. They're just art, right?
So
And these are
that
high projects.
that is what's your point? Like this is the unnecessary hype is going into the market.
My point is that if you figure out if you're buying an NFT just for the sake of it being an NFT, I
Hmm.
mean, good luck. That's all I'm saying.
That's the right way. Good luck. All right, right. So, so what do you think? Like, a real potential of NFT is still in the research phase. Ki, people are just thinking ki NFT is nothing but ki you can just put NFT is the rapper, right? Okay, where you can just put your music code in that thing. But
Correct.
currently, people are thinking ki from the creator aspect, ki this is only for the creator. But now I like read the one article, and that article was saying ki the real NFT use case is basically is in the researching phase. People are just trying to figure out. Communities are trying to figure out ki we can just use this NFT for our driving license certifications and something that will used in upcoming. You can say that the in metaverse that will be discussed in little bit later. But in metaverse and in upcoming 10 to 15 years, where we will be using the this technology NFT basic NFT technology in a very right way. Currently, it is going in and out. What's your point on this? It is still in a real research phase.
I think when there's a hype and people don't understand the concept is yet to be figured out. I think NFTs are definitely there. There are few people who have
Hmm.
started talking about NFTs as so. When
Hmm.
I started on this journey myself,
Hmm.
not many were talking about proof of ownership. Now I see
Yeah.
more people talking about proof of ownership, right? So I
Hmm.
definitely think NFT is a thing to stay. It's a powerful concept. Use cases are not out there yet. There is
Hmm.
definitely a lot of need to get out good use cases of NFTs to show the actual power of it. The example I gave
Okay.
earlier is just one such example. And let's let me give you a very grand vision also. I don't know when it will happen,
Okay. Okay.
but let's say you finish your school, you get your 11th 12th marks, you finish your
Hmm.
college, you get your again
Hmm.
exam marks.
Yeah.
Some people take their degrees. When you start
Hmm.
working, you will get experience certificates, you
Hmm.
start getting ratings, right? All of this are
Correct.
tracked offhand. There's a lot of background work which happens right now. So if need to go to a new company, I've quit my new
Hmm.
company, go to a new company, they ask for my background verification. They say, please
Well.
submit these documents, please submit these things. And no matter which company I go to, which country I go to, these will be required, right?
Hmm.
So there's a lot of wasted effort. Now, in future, you have, let's say, one NFT for every work you had done. So you
Hmm.
worked in company for 1.5 years. That company had just updated on that given that experience out to as a to your wallet and to
Right.
your address. With the
Hmm.
new company, all you have to do is approve this. You just share your wallet address. They have all your details. They don't need to do any background check. You can't fake it because your employee
Hmm.
has given it to you, so you know it's
Hmm.
authentic. and the whole cost of it is gone. So your complete experience, your skill set, what makes you an expert at a skill is all stored in blockchain. In future, let's say I want the top notch, some professional, right? I don't need to
Yeah.
figure out who is telling me this. I know the blockchain is out there. I know the experience is stored out there. I can just get it out myself.
So basically, if you have the knowledge, if you have basic fundamentals, and if you have understood this particular technology that is NFT, then
Yeah,
you can easily figure out the what is right and wrong in this field, right?
that's right.
Okay, cool. That's the thing. And there is one thing, ki blockchain gaming is also now taking, you can say that the hype, right? That's a
It seems to be the year of blockchain gaming, play to earn
yeah,
gaming.
yeah, basically. So, what do you think, like the how the NFT is working, and what is the use case, or not the use case, but also the role of this NFT in the blockchain gaming? Because I have heard this thing, ki when suppose I'm just buying, if I'm taking an example of let's suppose the PUBG. So in
Mhm.
PUBG, I'm purchasing the weapons, I'm purchasing the some, you can say that the I'm just stored my inventory, right? And what I will do, where rather than I'm purchasing the weapon in the terms of, you can say that the rupees and dollar, I'll just purchasing the NFT of that weapon. And in the future, suppose that company will that the game company or that game will not exist, so I can sell whatever I had spent my time and I money to purchase this inventory. I can sell that inventory, and suppose another usage is ki suppose I will not have an interest to play this game. I don't like it PUBG. So what I will do, I will just send my all inventory what I had purchased to another person as an NFT, because that NFT is stored in my NFT wallet. So what do you think? Like, is it a good thing, or it will just create some bubble into this?
I think there are both parts to it. First of all,
Hmm.
if you have bought an NFT because it gives you in-game access and the game no longer
Hmm.
exists,
Hmm.
why will someone else want it? So you still need to see that the game is good, the team is good. It makes
Hmm.
sense to use it.
Hmm.
Now let's remove NFT out of it. Let's say you were in Clash of Clans or Dota or
Clash of
anywhere,
Clans, yeah. Hmm.
right?
Correct.
And
Hmm.
if cryptocurrency was not there, you're still ready to pay and buy it out, right? So in this
Okay.
specific case, cryptocurrency is just making it the technology part to buy it. So
Hmm.
they're leveraging the trend. They're sort of making it by default global, because the
Hmm.
benefit of cryptocurrency is you're not bound to one region. It's a global currency. Everyone owns it, right? I
Hmm.
no
Yeah.
longer have to create something for dollar, something for INR, something for euro. So that's the
Hmm.
benefit of buying that artifact over um,
Hello. You are not audible, Aditya. Okay, I think from their side it's a network. You are not audible, Aditya. I think. Can you join again? Okay, let me figure out. Sorry, guys, for interruption, please.
how about now?
Yeah, now it's audible. Something, I think, technical issues occurred. Okay, so we were talking about the blockchain gaming. So I got the basic thing. If you want, you can repeat it. Otherwise, we will just move towards the. So
Okay,
basically,
sure.
huh.
The gist of it is that you believe in the game, then you go ahead for it. Don't buy it because it's an NFT. That's the gist
Okay.
of it.
So in the NFT, like if I'm just playing the Clash of Clans, so I want to buy the hammer, right? So I can buy the at hammer in as an NFT, and suppose in future Clash of Clans will not exist, and that some reason Clash of Clan company will not be closed. So what I will do, I can just sell that hammer, to another person as an NFT, and you can say that I will save from my lost my money rather than I'm putting the money, real money, into the purchasing that hammer.
Now tell me, why will someone else buy that hammer if Clash of Clans doesn't exist?
Because that's a NFT, so someone will write me, okay, there is a some game is exist in past. There's a Clash of Clan, and this is the one you can say that the weapon of that Clash of Clan. This is
So
have my
again,
NFT.
you have to assume someone wants it even when the game doesn't
Mm.
exist. If that
Yeah.
exists,
Okay.
then yeah,
Cool. Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes. Okay,
Yes.
okay, cool, cool. Okay, so now it's time to let's pivot this whole conversation into this now today very important and the hype topic is going on, that is the metaverse. So before going to touch this topic, I wanna just know like my audience or the viewers wants to know from you how you can just explain, how would you explain this key, what is actually the metaverse in a very simple word, because there are a lots of definition is going.
Okay. Um, I mean, I know the Wikipedia definition, that's definitely convoluted.
No, please don't.
Yeah, but the metaverse, in very simple terms, is a virtual place where there are certain rules which define how a person can interact with another person. It is it allows you to have ownership of certain things also there. Like how in Clash of Clans you own your clan base or your town hall. That's yours, right? So Clash of Clans can also be thought of a sort of a metaverse here, where you
Hmm.
own your own bases and you like people can watch your bases, they can see it, and you have a clan with a social status. So metaverse is
Hmm.
basically any such system which has some feeling of social connection and some social status. It is a way for you
Hmm.
to interact with each other, collaboratively get things done, and build your own identity. Any system, any virtual system which fits this criteria is a metaverse, right? So
Is
it
the
could be
metaverse.
any game. Now,
Hmm.
metaverse and blockchain are two very separate components. Metaverse
Okay.
is not actually needed for blockchain, and vice versa. Blockchain is not needed for metaverse.
Okay. So blockchain and metaverse, these are both different things.
Correct. Metaverse is coming up because um, so NFTs by default are empowering games, right? Metaverse is all about, ultimately it moves to a social game. It's like a social
Hmm.
game. So games
Hmm.
here are very conveniently using the trend of joining with cryptocurrency and getting part of that. It supports and aids their use case or their philosophy very easily. But games don't need to use it, right? So you can just create a metaverse where you need to buy using Indian rupees or you need to buy using USD and still buy the items, still buy the land. What is cryptocurrency getting here? Not much. It just games get to solve that infrastructure problems very easily. Blockchain is the tech empowering that game because a lot of rework is lost now. The game doesn't need to build that complex systems out. They don't need to build the trust out. And there are already a lot of people who have crypto but don't know what to do with it. So now they've given
Oh.
them easy use case. It's like being in
Okay.
right place at the right time. Metaverse doesn't
Yeah.
need crypto.
Correct. Correct. Be at the right time with right people. That's a.
Yes.
So can I say that if someone will ask me, okay, what do you know why the metaverse? So can I say that the metaverse is game that is giving you the some real virtuality, or you can live your life into real as a virtual reality. Can I say this?
Correct. So it's a AR VR game basically. It's a AR VR experience. That's all VR metaverse is. Any metaverse.
I, and companies are making this basically their you can say that the money making money types of things they are doing. And
Correct.
now the next thing is ki Facebook has changed their name from Facebook to Meta. So what's your point on this? Ki why what he Mark Zuckerberg has said that he has accepted the upcoming world, because you know ki is there any no question is here ki Web3 coming or Web3 will come, is this change because it has already come, right, where we are using this technology and in future it will just grow exponentially. So what's your thing like what's the basics you can say that the intention behind that it change from Facebook to Meta, because Facebook is actually a Web2 company, am I right? Yes.
Correct.
And
So
now it's trying to just involve into the Web3 world. So what's your point on this?
before I answer this, I would like to ask
Hmm.
you two questions. So
Uh-huh.
last 1 or 2 years, may you would have seen, let's say Elon Musk posts. Generally, what is he doing in those posts? Where have you seen that? Is
I
he
don't know, but yeah, they have just promoting Dogecoin. I have seen.
no, not related to cryptocurrency. Let's take that
Okay.
out. let's say wherever he is coming in marketing, generally where is he sitting? Is he in like talk shows? Is he in the garden? Is he vacationing? What type of pictures do you see of him? Majorly.
With the picture maybe because I was not following not following
Okay,
the
okay.
Elon Musk very much.
Okay, cool. So usually he's seen with like Joe Rogan, or he's seen giving podcasts with
Okay.
the people, or doing talk
Yeah.
shows,
Uh-huh.
right, with Jack Ma. So
Jack Ma, yeah.
now, if you switch back to memes of Mark Zuckerberg,
Hmm.
right? What have you seen those by any chance? What the recent ones have all come out?
Mark
Um,
Zuckerberg.
yeah, last couple of months.
No, no, I
So
didn't
they'll
see.
be all in him sitting in a court. A lot of them are him sitting in a court, judges asking him, panel
Hmm.
asking him. Okay, so the reason for that is Elon Musk is all about marketing right now, while Mark Zuckerberg is all about defending his company right now because a
Okay.
lot of data concerns are there. Right? A
Hmm.
CEO's important job, CEO's job is to figure out the most important part of their company right now. For Elon
Hmm.
Musk, he's safe, so he's branding. For Facebook, or for any part of Mark Zuckerberg's enterprise, there are a lot of lawsuits from various parts of the world. That data is
Hmm.
a concern. Data privacy is a concern. They're doing unethical
Hmm.
practices that people are addicted to it. We will not allow
Hmm.
it. We will not allow the storage of it. Right. So
Hmm.
now, in the Web 2 world for this enterprise, a lot of governments are turning against their businesses. That's why their stocks
Okay.
also crashed,
Yeah. Hmm.
right?
Right.
Because slowly they see that happening. Now, for a person who knows their whole business works on engaging people, but legally in central spaces, they can no longer store the data. They see decentralized ways as a way exit out to storing the data.
Okay.
All of their
So you.
data, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. I will ask her.
So decentralization right now doesn't have any regulation in this aspect of data storage
Hmm.
because there is no control over it. It's public owned. Humans own it. It's not central owned.
Okay, okay, that's the thing. So, because you are saying ki there is blockchain and metaverse is a totally different thing, but lots of companies is giving their concepts ki meta. Suppose this blockchain will be using because in the Web three, because metaverse is also the part of the Web three, and Web three is whole. You can say that the fundamentals of Web three is built on ki in the Web three world we will be keeping your data in the decentralized way. You
Correct.
have the autonomy of your data. No one can change, no one have the, you can say that, the central authority of your data. So it will only you can achieve by the blockchain, right?
Correct.
So
So
like you are saying ki this is the difference, so I'm not like able to keep this concept.
okay, got it. So the data
Hmm.
storage part of it for any so metaverse is not just by Facebook's meta. There are multiple different
Hmm.
type of metaverse, right? Any AR
Yeah.
VR. As a
Hmm. Correct.
technology, any AR VR doesn't need cryptocurrency. It can use
Hmm.
traditional Web2 ecosystems to make it work.
Hmm.
Okay, now where does blockchain come into this place? It's storing data for Meta because Meta is in Facebook's Meta because the data it's trying to store is something governments are against. So that is where this
Okay.
comes into place, right? Only the data
Hmm.
part. The image, the visual, the experience, all of that is still central servers. It's not stored on blockchain,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So what you
And
see when you wear your glasses or like VR
hmm.
glasses or let's say
Hmm.
even on your screen, all that is not actually stored on blockchain. It's just some data it reads from blockchain saying, okay, this NFT, this user actually owns this NFT, so show him this,
Show me
right?
this. Hmm.
That can be stored on a centralized DB also if government regulations don't come into place for Meta.
Hmm. So we can't put the all data on blockchain because in NFT, what's happening ki if you want to make the NFT of your art, so we are putting that image on some centralized server.
You can store it on decentralized server also. There are technologies
Okay,
like IPFS and RV.
IPFS, yeah. Hmm.
Yes, they allow you to store it. You can store like technically you can store it in smart contract itself, but it will cost you thousands of dollars because it's that costly. IPFS or RV is the way to store
Hmm.
data in
IPFS,
decentralized fashion.
interplanetary file system, right?
That's right.
Okay, so they are just behaving like a. You can say that they are following the principles of blockchain. They are not the totally decentralized.
Correct. They are following the
Okay,
principles of blockchain.
principles of
Um,
block.
yes.
Peer-to-peer network thing.
So what is
Okay.
blockchain? Blockchain ka principle is you can prove that this person uploaded it. So
Hmm.
one person has the control over what is stored or what is not stored. No one gets to
Hmm.
decide that. And once stored, you can't it's irrefutably present there. No one can say this wasn't there. But the concepts or the theory of blockchain remains. The more
So
number
why?
of nodes,
So why I can't put this images on our blockchain? There is a something reason behind it.
IPFS is a blockchain, man. Have you tried Arweave? Arweave is a
Yeah, yeah.
blockchain.
No, like they are. I have heard about this thing. Ki you can't store the images on Ethereum blockchain because it will. You can say that the charge it will more expensive if you are storing this particular images on blockchain. Is it right?
Correct. Correct. That's right. Because the way Ethereum charges you, it charges you
Hmm.
based on how much data you store, where you're storing it, and when your
Hmm.
code runs, how many operations is
Hmm.
your code running. Based on
Hmm.
that, it charges you. Right?
Okay. That's the reason we
So,
can't do it.
correct. Ethereum
Okay.
is more made for higher computing, not high storage. IPFS is made for
Okay.
high storage.
High
IPFS is
storage.
also a blockchain, it's a different chain. There are multiple blockchains:
Yeah, yeah.
Ethereum, Solana,
Hmm.
Avalanche, Polygon, Zilliqa,
Polygon.
just like IPFS and chain.
Okay, cool. It's like you can say that the other blockchain direction they are having a different use case, different blockchain,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Exactly.
So what's the rules of and role of this NFT in metaverse? Ki how this NFT will play their role into this metaverse?
So metaverse still needs a way to get people to buy the item in metaverse, right?
Okay.
So instead
Hmm.
of building their infrastructure out, instead of promoting it, instead of
Hmm.
creating marketplaces and promoting independently outside, they know people are
Hmm.
already in Web3. They know people are
Hmm.
already trying to buy cryptocurrencies. They know people are
Hmm.
already pushing for anti-central things, and they know that all these tech is actually what we will have to build anyway. So why not
Hmm.
use this, get all those concepts for us, and be part of that system? So they
Hmm.
go ahead and they fit in so well with blockchain that it extends that both of them are extending each other now. But they don't need
Okay.
to. Like independently also they will exist. That's what
They
I'm
will
trying to say. But together they're much more powerful right now.
and suppose I will be just purchasing something in metaverse and I want to be just keep that thing in very you can say that a unique. So that company will be promising me ki this is unique. So that company should give me the in NFT right that item. Then I can only trust on that thing because
If
it's
they're
unique.
using a blockchain, they will give you an
Hmm.
NFT, and that company doesn't get the right or anything. Once the NFT is created, it's ensured it's unique,
Is
right?
unique right.
Because it's written in the
Hmm.
code, and that code is
So
not changeable. You can't change
we
it.
are expecting we are like we will be purchasing anything in metaverse that will be the NFT. Is it correct?
If they support it, yeah, it's up to them, right? It's up to the metaverse what they build it. So Meta
Okay.
by Facebook is one thing. You have heard of
Yeah.
Decentral Games? That's
Hmm.
another metaverse. There are
Hmm.
crypto unicorns which has come up. Axie.
Luca is another metaverse. That's there are different companies. They are making their own metaverse world.
Right. So every metaverse world will define its own set of rules. What's possible, what's not possible, what's allowed,
Okay.
right? So you need to
Means Facebook has created their own world or universe that have their own rule. Okay, and
correct.
someone is creating the metaverse that there other different rules. That's not you can say that ki Facebook has you can buy the NFT in other metaverse that cannot you cannot buy the NFT. So you cannot say ki this is not the metaverse. That's also the metaverse. They're different. There is a, you can say that the different. That is a country wise. In India, they have some different laws. In America, they have some different laws. Like right,
Correct. There is no one single metaverse.
single metaverse.
Yeah, it's all different people creating their different games. Now it's up to
Okay.
the developer. Let's say I am creating Clash of Clans and you're creating Call
Hmm.
of Duty, right?
Hmm.
MW3, let's
Hmm.
say. And you
Hmm.
want, oh, Clash of Clans created Hammer. Instead of knife, I want people to use Hammer also. So you use the same NFT. That you as a developer is making the choice that I can use this NFT to show in my MW3 also, Modern Warfare 3 also, not just in Clash of Clans. But there's no nothing
Okay.
guaranteeing. You can create your own NFT also if you want to as a developer. It's all up to the metaverse creators or the game creators what their metaverse supports or not.
Hmm. So, what is the basically technology is responsible to making this metaverse and stay behind this metaverse?
You mean
Like
the
there
AR
is
VR
a
part or the
yeah. Like what is the basically that's the AR VR is also the part which is helping making metaverse. And other than it, basically the blockchain. can we consider it as key it is helping to making the metaverse? It is the technology that is you can say that the major part behind this metaverse.
It is a lot of adoption. It has gotten people a lot of adoption because earlier crypto use cases were limited. People had not come up with enough crypto use cases where you can use your
Hmm.
tokens. Apart from putting it into more crypto tokens, that's where DeFi came. So metaverse gave people an actual utility for their tokens. That's why
Okay.
people are getting into it. Apart from that, like the whole technical effort required, right? It's still there. AR, VR is still there. Your graphics design is still there. VFX is still there. Any aspect of game creation is still existing. The only added difference is earlier, let's say if I was playing Dota, if you've played Dota, I'm not
Hmm.
sure if you have,
Hmm.
but the
No, no,
point is,
no.
let's say you played Clash of Clans. So in Clash
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Clans, when you log into your server,
Hmm.
your your device to your clan based mapping is stored in their
Hmm.
internal server.
Okay.
Your Google ID does it. The difference in metaverse comes that instead of Google ID doing it, you have a blockchain address. Based on that
Okay.
blockchain address, they go to blockchain and say what all items you own and then show it. That is the
Hmm.
difference part. Who is
That's
storing
the
your ownership of items?
okay. Okay. So suppose you are taking a Clash of Clan example. So in my like this is my personal doubt. Ki, suppose I have a my clan, right? So in currently the Clash of Clan, I cannot sell my clan, right?
Yes. Currently,
But in
if you
cur-
go to someone else and say, okay, I'll give you my Gmail ID password, you can use it
uh,
and give me the money. That is
yeah,
selling.
but in the case of suppose I will be making maybe I will be making another Clash of Clan in Web3. So what I will do, I will just tell my like users, ki if you are not interested to play this game, so you can just sell this whole clan as an NFT to another person, right?
Correct. You can do that. You can sell
Okay,
all your items to another person and he can play and you will get the money.
it could be right. It is possible.
Absolutely possible. That's a powerful
Okay,
use case again.
powerful of use case. That's a, I think good thing rather than I'm giving their ID and all. Maybe that ID is my business ID. So why will I do this type of things? I will take
Correct.
a risk. Okay. So this is very you can say that the personal question to you. Ki, do you own any NFT?
Yes, so I own two NFTs.
Okay.
One by Decentraland variable, just to
Okay.
try it out. That was like my first NFT just to see the concept, understand the feel of it. I own an Ice Poker NFT by Decentral Games. It allows you
Okay.
to play poker in metaverse. And if you play poker, you can earn money also based on how well you do it for free. Um,
Okay.
so
What's
since
your
I like
favorite
playing
NFT?
poker, my favorite NFT, I mean, uh, questionable.
It's,
So
okay. Okay. I'm not going to. Okay. Let's leave
I
it.
see. I like utility NFTs to be honest, but yes, it
Okay.
sometimes feels good. Okay, you be part of something like Board Ape Yacht Club, where you're invited to yacht parties and stuff. But I think that will wear off very fast. So anything which is an actual
Okay.
utility, I support those NFTs.
So
So I
I can
think,
say that Ki Aditya is the now holder of NFTs.
yeah, I
You are
definitely
the
am.
trader also, right? You were saying in the starting of the podcast Ki you were doing the trading in the crypto, right?
I trade cryptocurrencies, not NFTs.
Cryptocurrency. Okay.
But
Yeah,
now I'm
of course. I'm talking about cryptocurrency.
yeah, cryptocurrencies. I've written
Okay.
bots also, but now I'm trying to find people who trade NFTs because that's where my platform or jointnft.com could help.
Hmm.
Just
So
need some people.
now we will just talk a bit more about not very long because it's now time because your time is also important. So can you just elaborate this thing? Ki, what is the standard these are going on? Ki ERC 721 and ERC 115 on the basis of just crust thing. Don't think we want very deep dive, but that's what is actually this. Ki, people are saying ki you have a ERC 721 token or ERC 115 token. That is you can see in OpenSea whenever you have minted your NFT that we will see in the details ki your token is a something ERC 1155 and ERC 721. So what's the significance? What's the meaning of that?
Okay, great. So when you mint one NFT, one token,
Hmm.
right? So that's
Hmm.
unique in itself. That it has a unique ID, unique traits. ERC 721 May, you have to write one smart contract per NFT. So let's say I want
Hmm.
to create in my Clash of Clans, I want to allow 1,000 bases to be created. I have to
Hmm.
1,000 times deploy a smart contract for each of them. Okay. So every smart
Hmm.
contract, a code is redundant. Just the ID or the small set of features change. So it's a very costly operation that way. Um,
Okay.
so that's the first difference. 1155 allows me to create one contract saying 1,000 lands are allowed, 1,000 BCs are allowed.
Okay.
Right?
The
Second,
ERC 115 will also allow. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry,
no,
sorry.
no, please ask. It's
Uh,
okay.
no, no, no. Look, you go ahead. Like I'm thinking that. Please, please go
So
ahead.
that's the first difference. Second
Yeah.
difference is it also allows you to do something called like batch transfer. So now since there is only one token per smart contract, I can't send multiple
Okay.
tokens to one person at the same time, which ERC 1155 allows me to do. It allows me to send 5 NFTs in one single transaction. So there's a low
Hmm.
gas fee now. Even gas fee while
Hmm.
creating it, gas fee while transferring it. This is a gas fee optimization part.
Gas fee
Second,
optimization.
second part is something called semi-fungibility. So
Hmm.
fungibility is where everything is same as the other, right? So every rupee is same as the other.
Hmm.
Non-fungibility is nothing is same as the other. Everything is unique, right? Every human being or every human being's fingerprint is unique. Now, in the middle,
Hmm.
a use case came for basket of fungibility or semi-fungibility. This is like saying that okay, Indian currency is different, dollar currency is different, but Indian to Indian is same, dollar to dollar is same. So Indian is scarce, dollar is a different thing. They are two unique things, but within Indian itself there is a little bit of fungibility. There are like 1,000 rupees available, so up to one
Okay.
rupee I can go. So
Hmm.
or there are 10th grade, ninth grade is different, but 10th grade has 100 students. So some level of fungibility, even though overall categories are different, that was needed. That's where your rarity traits are defined, right? Is your land a hill or is it a plain or is it this? Is it a land
Hmm.
NFT or is it a character NFT or something else,
Hmm.
right? So in real world use cases, it could be like, is this experience certificate for school or for college? If it's school, then these are the traits. So some
Hmm.
mixture of matching is needed. So that is where
Yeah.
semi-fungibility comes into place. And in fact, there's a very good blog, beginner blog by OpenSea. You can read on non-fungibility introduction in OpenSea, and you'll probably get the first second link.
Correct.
That will explain this concept very good, well to you. So
Well to.
this is the third difference that it allows semi-fungibility.
Hmm.
Um, and then there are like few other minor benefits also, like safe transaction. In ERC 721, if you send your contract to an incorrect address, there's nothing you can do about it. 1155 defines certain functions which ensure that there are
Hmm.
certain checks where you are less likely to make a incorrect transfer of your NFT or get
Hmm.
cheated out of it. So it's a more
Hmm.
secure contract in that way.
ERC 721 is secure.
1155 is more. There's a concept of
Okay.
safe transfer.
Safe
Safe transfer
transfer.
and safe batch transfer. These are actual functions which check for certain conditions which ERC 721 doesn't.
So in you are saying 725, yes, 725, right? So in 725, can we revert our
721
transaction?
is 721 and 1155. 721,
115.
1155.
Yeah, 7211 and 155. You are saying that the upgrade of 7215 and 721 upgradation is 725 something.
No, I'm saying there are only two, 721
Okay.
and
And
1155.
1155. Okay. So here is like I want to just clear our viewers key. I'm just stating the saying ki, you can create only one token in a single contract, single not taking a contract. But in ERC 721, you can create only one token, right? Or one NFT.
In 721 only one, in
One.
1155 you can create multiple.
Multiple. So somebody is saying, "Yeah, I want to create a 10,000, so I will use the ERC 1.5 rather than use the ERC 720, right?
It will be cheaper for you, yes.
Cheaper for you. Or if they will say, okay, I want to just use the ERC 721, so I have to make the 10, basically 10,000 ERC 721 tokens. Then I will fulfill their condition. Got it.
Correct.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay, clear, clear. See. So now we are on the end of this podcast. So I want to just one thing. What's your advice to upcoming developers, upcoming who are just starting their career in this new world that's Web3? How they can start their business in this Web3 world? Because you are also the entrepreneur. So what's your advice to us?
Sure. So obviously, first understand the concepts, get clear on
Hmm.
blockchain concepts, pick up the language, be a good developer, so that you understand when people say this is possible, this is not possible, you understand it. Then get involved. There are a lot of communities which are just helping developers get on board and help them launch their businesses. For example, I myself am part of something called Super Team DAO, which is started by Tanmay Bhatt, which is helping people promote Solana. There is the
Oh,
first one called Gitcoin, right? You definitely check
Gitcoin,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, which is by actual Ethereum creators and their team, and they help people get grants, raise funding, participate in bounties. So go to the platform. Gitcoin has hackathons. It has bounties where people put up that this work should be done. If you do it, you will get paid. It has you asking that I want to start doing this. Can you please give me some grants? So all of these ways are ways you can put your work and get monetized, and then form your like connects with people. So in order to get started in this space, you do need to reach out to people. You need to be active in
Hmm.
communities. You need to get to know what people
Hmm.
want and get them to support you. There's a
Hmm.
concept of build by community here where you share whatever you're building and get active feedback with them
Correct.
from them.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you're not in the community, there's no build by community. So get into the community. Obviously, start taking part in these bounties, then start taking hackathons. Fortunately, right now there are hackathons happening left, right, center in Web3. Right?
Yeah.
Every other day I see something happening in Left Folio, which is like 2 to 3 days. You get much more
Yeah.
content. And then
Hmm.
there's a bigger hackathons. Like get it. There's something called ETH Global, ETH
Eat
Denver.
global.
Right now, Solana Denver
Also,
is happening.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Solana is also organizing the one open source hackathon program. That's the thing.
ITTDD. So all of
Hmm.
these are giving you good enough funding to get your company started. If you come in the first few, they will give you $50,000, $100,000 without any equity. So for free, just to start your product, and they'll help you get into the right communities and promote it. There are a lot of ways where people in Web3 space are promoting other Web3 developers to come and build good products out. Right? Stuff which is
Okay.
not already existing, which is not that, not that stuff which is actual value add. That these concepts remain. These powerful concepts of governance, of authenticity, of trust remain.
Correct, correct. That's right. So it's a very advice, so we will accept it. I'm personally also.
Otherwise,
Okay.
join startup accelerators, right? That's the next thing. If not this, like I went to a startup accelerator called Entrepreneurs First. You can check them out at joinef.com. There are
Hmm.
others now. Antler, Y Combinator is obviously a very famous one. Now there are more such accelerators coming which are more than interested in helping people in Web3.
Hmm.
Right? Antler
There is
India
one
has a
damage exist. There is one damage exists in our industry. Someone wants to develop the NFT. Someone wants to mint NFT. So they can say, "I'm an NFT developer." There is any term is exists. I can say I'm an NFT developer, or it will say, "Ki I'm a blockchain developer. I can build the NFT."
I also don't understand what NFT developer would mean. Does that mean a
Yes.
creator who wants to write an image or a project which uses it, or you're just a developer who can write smart contracts? No. So, as you said, better thing is have smart contract developers, say blockchain developer. You understand Solidity, you understand
Solid.
Trust for Solana, you
Hmm.
understand Scylla for Zilliqa, or you understand something else for Tezos. So say that yeah, you're that blockchain developer. You understand that standard. You understand what's coming up, and you can develop it for their use case, whatever they want to write in the smart contract. That is the right term.
As a like fresher in this blockchain world, should I join the startup directly? Should I join the basically the big companies because big companies are also working? So if I want to just learn the things during this, because in a startup, ki learning is faster rather than these are product based service based company, right? So what should I prefer?
Okay. Interesting questions. I'll have different answers based on what you want. If
Hmm.
you see startups may also have to find the right startups. Right? Not every startup gives you a lot of learning because a lot of startup founders are themselves trying to figure out what things will be. So it depends on what you're trying to learn. Um, and any startup, you learn a lot. You learn a lot in breadth. Depth not necessarily comes to you. So you become good at hacking and building things quickly, not quality. So I have worked in all sides of scenarios. So I think initially in your college years itself, try to get a startup experience. Try to get an experience where it's not very defined, but there's a lot of work. So you very fast learn how to pick up things. So initially try that out. Then go to something where there's little more process because now you have a decent enough capability to hack and create anything. Now get the process on how to do things right way at scale. Once you have these two, I think you can then just go any direction you want. If you want to stay hungry and try building something, you probably go back to a startup. If you think, no, I'm comfortable, I'm earning good, you probably stay in your good MNC job and continue there. Right? That's how I see it out there. But if you do these two jumps, first startup, then MNC, you would have learned a lot in the startup, and then you would learn how to do it right in MNC. But if you do vice versa, it won't be possible because MNC will start initially 2 years making you focus on like one specific aspect and you learn only that. And then jumping to something new becomes more
Hmm.
troublesome. It's not that easy.
Got it. Got
People
it.
become pushy.
So, okay, okay, cool answer. I think. Last, my question is that what is your points on health related issues exist in metaverse? Because lots of theories is coming. Okay, metaverse will destroy our health. So, what's your personally, honestly, what's your personal point on this metaverse? It will is a wonder, or maybe it will just lost our basically even with the health related.
I think different people have different choices.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
personally, if I'm going very personal,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think I'm a metaverse person. I
Okay.
personally prefer hanging out physically, meeting people physically, trying to figure out who exists here and go talk, meet
Hmm.
people. Right? That's me. I know a lot of people who are not like that. Right? Um, I
Okay.
know, like even my friends who say that, for example, even my co-founder, he was the one who
Hmm.
introduced me to blockchain. He said when I
Hmm.
started, I didn't know people in blockchain space in my school or in my college,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
if something like metaverse existed where I can go find such people very easily and talk to them more freely, I would like it.
Hmm.
So I guess for him that's a social use case. Now some people kill like gaming, right? Like the Clash of Clans, I think was very it's a mini
Hmm.
metaverse if you think of it. In fact, Instagram also is like has the core values of what metaverse would have. That
Hmm.
you stick to it, you engage through that, you build your social reputation through it. If people enjoy that system, they will enjoy metaverse also. Now, whatever the health effects, the negative effects, right? Um, you sort of lose. You can't disconnect. You are always present. Now you don't get the time off to relax. Your mental state is always in that world. It's obviously very stressful for your eyes, right? I mean,
Correct.
if
Correct.
you go for a VR game also right now, that 20 minutes game, at least for me, I think it's a little straining to my eyes. So I don't know how it will be if people are on the laptops whole
Ah, yes.
day.
That's also the right. I'm also thinking ki how can people just spend more than 2 to 3 hours on this metaverse because it's totally you can say that the equipment thing you should have your AVR box, your internet connection, and lots of things you should have.
Correct. Now, physically, you're not active. You're not doing anything productive at that stage. So obviously, your body does become physically weaker. You're sitting in the desk. So all the concept of sitting on a desk, which comes to programming also, frankly, is there. Um, Over time, what has happened to some people is they like not specifically to metaverse, but in such scenarios, they lose the sense of their real identities. They start liking their
Okay.
identities in metaverse a lot more, right? So that is a little drastic stage. But
So.
I mean, if you're able to balance it out, you say, okay, half an hour,
Hmm.
1 hour, that's all I'm going to do. Then I guess
Hmm.
maintain it. It's healthy. So anything done in discipline, in control, I guess it's
Hmm.
okay. Anything which is not done, will take over
Hmm.
you. So those same rules apply here.
Yeah, correct, correct. So what now we are just ending this session. So what's last few words do you want to say to our listeners ki, how they can just plan their journey to in this world that is a Web3.
In Web3 world, I'll say learn the concepts, be open-minded, right? If someone says this will
Yeah.
not work, understand why this will
Hmm.
not work. If someone says this
Hmm.
will
Yeah.
work, understand why this will work.
That's
Don't
true.
go either direction. But the only people who don't regret later are the ones who evaluated the early trend and then dismissed it rather than dismissed just by the sake of it, right? And if you couldn't dismiss it, that means the trend is good, then stay on to it. So go there,
Cool.
you're wrong, take that risk out.
Okay.
Well,
Know the intuition behind that. If they are saying yes, so what is the intuition behind it? If they are saying no, what is the intuition behind it?
correct.
That's
And don't
okay.
just take one person. At least talk to three, four couple of people.
Yes, we should also know and judge the resources where we are getting. Justify and just or you can say that the check the resources. Is this resources is valid or not where we are getting the information? Because maybe sometimes resources will not be able to give the correct information. Because in the internet, it is not you can say that mandatory ki all the information is uploaded in this internet that is correct.
Absolutely. So there's a reason influencers are called influencers. Their job is to get
Influence.
paid to influence. So
Correct,
know
correct.
who are influencing versus sharing their feedback.
Okay. So